Hey guys, I'm gonna make a little video about basically sort of like a short little roadmap to get towards consistent profitability. Now, obviously, it's not everything you need to know. There's a lot more to it. It's just a little quick message that I want to send out to you guys, which I feel like is very important. So I'm gonna pull up a message that I sent, I think last week in our Discord community, and I'll go over what I mean by that. Basically, what I wrote here is a successful trader can, in principle, be profitable with any strategy. That means I know for a fact that I would be profitable trading support and resistance. I would be profitable trading moving averages. I know that for a fact. The reason is because it's the consistency in and outside of your trading. Meaning that if you can't discipline yourself to look at the charts for no more than 30 minutes a day, you're already letting your emotions take over in something relatively simple, meaning that you can't even discipline yourself to, for example, prevent yourself from overtrading. That means that you don't have the emotional control. So that means you've got to work on gaining that emotional control. Now that applies to trading too. It's not complicated. Well, in this case, it's the video modules, but obviously, like it applies everywhere, right? Like once you have your strategy, once you know your strategy, it's essentially just backtesting, taking literally every position you see. Don't try and filter out, don't try and optimize your results right at the start, because you'll start over optimizing and you'll miss every single trade because you're trying to get the perfect results instantly. But this is where it goes wrong, honestly. Like genuinely ask yourself right now, like be totally 100% honest with yourself. How many hours and how many sessions have you put in to backtesting? A lot of people think backtesting is just to see if a strategy works. No, it's not. Backtesting, the whole purpose of backtesting is to see if something works for you. See if something works for you. Also, to know your statistics. You'll be able to know what your average win and losing streaks are. You'll be able to know what your average win rate is in general. Also, the main thing, what your positions look like. Now, I'm not over exaggerating here when I say that I have spent probably thousands of hours in backtesting. I've collected over 1,000 trades. When people ask me, how do I know what I'm looking for? It's because I've tested it so many times. I've tested it so many times, and I know that it works because I've tested it a million times. I've optimized it to the way I've basically optimized it to a point where I'm totally comfortable with what I have right now. And I've tested it so many times. I've got so many trading positions that I can show you guys right now. Basically just sitting there. Let me pull up a new, for example, if I go right here, these are all me testing the strategy. And I'm fairly sure like there's like 100 trades on every single one of these, all backtesting the exact same strategy. Now, this is me putting in the work, and there's no way to gain profitability if you're not putting in the work. I've tested it so many times, and I've also kept track of everything, all of my trading months, stuff like that. So just testing it is so important. There's even like a bunch more sheets right here, which are all filled with me backtesting the exact same strategy. Now ask yourself, how many times have you done that? Have you done that, and do you know exactly what your trades look like? Do you know exactly what your average win rate is, what your average max losing streak is? I know for a fact that my average win rate is between 40 to 50%. I know for a fact that my average max losing streak is 6, and I know that my max losing streak in total is 16. I know this for a fact because I've tested it over with a position size of over 1,000 trades. So I know that because I've tested it with more than 1,000 trades. So that's something, honestly, like I don't want to sound like I'm pissed off or anything, but like how many people can actually say that? A lot of people will just basically hop into a strategy, test it for 5 to 10 minutes and be like, all right, well, this is not working. This is what you have to do. There's no profitable trader. I guarantee you there's no profitable trader, real consistent profitable trader, who has not put in the time and effort to test if what they're doing works. And that's why they know what they're looking for. They know what they're looking for because they've tested it so many times. They have so many screenshots, so many positions, and that's how they know what their strategy and what their setup is supposed to look like. That's ultimately what's going to give you the confidence to execute on their strategy. So that's kind of like the topic of testing, but also like discipline. You've got to discipline yourself. I mean, trading, I hate to say it, it's not for everyone. If you cannot discipline yourself into, for example, preventing yourself from over trading or revenge trading, and you cannot discipline yourself into just spending 10 or 20 or 30 minutes a day backtesting with full focus, then you might have to reconsider, like, is this something that really works for me? Because honestly, it's a hard industry. It's difficult, and not everyone's going to make it. So it's really like the strongest will survive, so to say, because if you can't discipline yourself into doing a certain task, how do you expect to make money from trading? One of the most difficult fields there is, basically. That's kind of what I wanted to say. And also in my message that I sent out to our Discord communities, like, you review your data. Once you've got a lot of data, you review it, you see if there's anything that you can discuss on, or if there's, you don't even need a coach per se. You can just go back and look at your losses, see if there's a pattern in your losses, and see if there's a way to optimize it. And then once you have a solid, well-defined trading plan, and like I said, by solid, I mean you've sorted hundreds of positions and you know exactly what you're looking for, you know exactly what your win and losing streak is, your win rate, and you have no doubts about which setups meet your plan or not. Once you're successful with that, you can consider hopping on a demo. Once you're on a demo and you've gotten consistent results for a couple of months, that's when you can consider start doing a small challenge. So don't immediately throw all your savings into a 200K account, because that's when your emotions will take over, and that'll lead to ultimately you blowing the account due to greed. And that's, once that goes well, and once you've gotten your first payout, that's when you can start to scale up. Just to kind of point back to that part of discipline, this is what's lacking nowadays, and not just in trading in general. This is what's lacking in most people: discipline. Get up every single day at the same time, do a certain amount of tasks, do something you don't want to do, and that's where it goes wrong. That's where it's so difficult for so many people. People expect to be basically giving out handouts, but in one of the most difficult fields there's just no way to basically guide you towards something. You have to put in the work. And that work begins with you being disciplined enough to show up every day, put in the work that people tell you to do, or put in the work that you're supposed to do, and actually basically work towards the results. It's not as simple as you guys think, or some of you guys at least. Because same with like studying to be a doctor, right? Some people are studying it for years to be a doctor, only to make, I don't know, in the Netherlands to make about 10K a month. Only to make 10K a month. But then they're expecting to be a professional trader who's going to be making 20 to 30K a month within a year of trading. How? Like, that doesn't work like that. That's, in no way does that make sense. You have to put in the work, and it's no different than running a business. It's not like you're going to open up a store and make $1 million within the first year. No, you've got to slowly test to see what sells, see what's working, and then slowly expand, try and increase your marketing efforts. I always like to compare it to running a business, running a store, and then slowly work your way up. That's what it's all about. And it's honestly like the roadmap is not that difficult. It's putting in the work which makes it really difficult. And I just hope that the people who see this kind of take this as a little boost, a little motivation boost to start putting in the work, start testing. And in the meantime, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me on Discord or in the comments section. I would love to help you guys out. Basically, that being said, just start focusing on that and keep yourself grounded too. Like, keep realistic expectations. Don't aim for the 10 to 20 hour a month. Don't go for the Lambo within a year. Just make sure that you're consistently doing what you're supposed to be doing.